Hello people, welcome to another video of George Sardi's channel, and today I wanted to talk about David Goggins, right? Most people, well not most, many people know David Goggins was really famous in America. This is a Navy SEAL. This guy is also a really athletic guy who runs ultra marathons, hundreds of kilometers. He has done a lot of them. He has won some, he has not won some, but doesn't matter if you won an ultra marathon or not. If you have run one, if you have finished one, you're already awesome. But this guy has won many, sometimes second place, whatever. And well, this guy is very famous because of his motivational speech, his motivational videos that you can see sometimes in TikTok, sometimes in YouTube, sometimes in Instagram also. And I want to share my experience with you guys about the first time I learned about this guy, that I knew about this guy, was just scrolling in Instagram and YouTube, and I saw this guy just screaming with his typical way to talk, as you know, saying you had to wake up, you had to do this, you had to do the other stuff. And my first reaction was, what the fuck was this guy to tell me what I had to do, what I have to do? So I started to look for this guy because honestly, I was looking at this guy every time he was just showing up in my YouTube, in my Instagram or whatever. I didn't know who he was, but he was showing all the time. I was a moment, okay, let's see who the guy is. And I started to investigate about this guy, and what I found was a Navy SEAL guy who was running a lot of marathons, who was a string guy, he was waking up 4 in the morning to run, who was running extreme heat and cold or whatsoever. And my first reaction was not to believe about this stuff. Overall, when I read the part that this guy he ran, I think it was a marathon or something like that, with a broken knee and another one with a broken foot, with the bones broken. He has been operated with the heart, and then he started to run again. And the doctors say that he cannot run again, and he still finished a lot of kilometers races. So my first impression was, this is impossible. This cannot be. This guy must be fake. So I started to investigate more and more about this guy and searching literally things like why David Goggins is fake. And I didn't find anything. I didn't find a single thing that can tell that this guy was fake. And I was feeling like I didn't like this guy. I didn't hated this guy. I was irritated by this guy. So I just let it like that, and this guy kept showing up, pumping up in my scroll, in my YouTube, and I was like, okay man, what the fuck with this shit? And that's just went to keep informing myself about this guy, and I keep feeling this irritation and this dislike of this guy. And then I sat down for a moment and analyzed, because I deep down I knew what was going on in my head and what was finding this guy nice. And what I realized was that I didn't like this guy because he was making things that I didn't believe it was possible to me to do, not even 10% of them. So I didn't like the person who was doing the stuff about. I was being a hater in this moment because I wasn't willing to do the things. I wasn't willing to work soon and go to run. I wasn't willing to give the most when you are tired as hell. So when you crash, when you encounter yourself with someone like that, your first expression is sometimes to feel rejection. And this is a mistake, of course. This is happening because you're not recognizing your own potential, you're not recognizing how worthy you are, and you are feeling jealous of the capacity of other person to do great things. So after recognizing this, my hate against this guy just disappeared, and I became a great fan of this guy. So I started to listen to his podcast with Joe Rogan, listen to his podcast with the other people in YouTube, his videos, and go deep down his history. And I even bought his books. I got one of these, never finished. I finished this book, of course. I really recommend this book. It's really amazing because he's a guy who suffered a lot in his life. He was abused by his father, physically insulted. He was bullied in school. He had the bad degrees. He had a low self-esteem. He was raised by a single mother who had to work a lot to keep the boy alone. A lot. This guy just experienced a lot of horrible experience in his life. He was at 23 years old at the worst moment of his life. He was doing shitty jobs, he was being obese, and the guy just get tired of the situation, and with just force of will, he started to go up, 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 getting the Navy SEALs, getting the army, started to do the races after, and just became one of the toughest guys on earth, as he said, and which I believe also. I really think this guy is one of the toughest guys on earth, or one of them. Um, so yeah, I got also this book here. You can hear me. I haven't finished this book yet because it's in Dutch, and I had to translate every word that I understand, and sometimes I don't have this time for this stuff. But this is the main book, right? This is the main book that I think it was the first one, and this is the next book. So I just wanted to share you guys with that stuff. When you reject someone, sometimes someone that you don't know personally, someone that's doing great things, you have to get deep in your mind. You want to go to talk to yourself and analyze the situation. Be honest, why you don't like this guy. So don't try to hide these feelings that, okay, no, I don't like this guy because he must fake. Probably the reason that you are rejected these people is because they are doing great things which you're not doing, which you are not willing to do in that moment. And if you want to do those great things, you have to recognize the failure that you're doing when you think about these people in a bad way. Because only haters, they are jealous of the accomplishment of the people. If you're willing to be a winner one day, if you want to be a winner one day, if you want to be successful in anything, you have to be humble. You have to recognize the accomplishments of all the people, and you don't have to deny them. And you have to recognize when you are being a hater, when you're being jealous, and when you're being lazy, or when you want to get up and learn from these people. Well, this is a short video about that mentality that many of us have when we see great people having success. And yeah, I want to share this thought. And also, we have to be careful with the other side of this. There are some people who also not willing to do great things, they're not trying to do great things, and they're always admiring and making heroes and making gods of nice people. I'm telling you to look for this guy, to investigate about the guy, to get some inspiration of this guy and learn his mentality. But I'm not trying to tell you this guy's a god, this guy is a superhuman or whatever. He's just a guy like you and me who happens to master his mind somehow. He happens to master his body. But the other side of the people is the people who's always admiring and making gods of all the people without even trying to do it themselves, so trying to push themselves to the maximum. So there are two polarities: the haters who are jealous, who are not recognizing of the people, who are denying the capabilities of the people, the great people, and there are the lovers that idolize these people, that make them heroes, that make them gods, but both they don't do anything. So you cannot be this one and you shouldn't be this one. Of course, this one is better than being the other one, because unless the guy who made the heroes, he recognized the capabilities of these people, he's closer to being the mentality to go this one than the hater. The hater is a typical person who doesn't do anything, he just hating everybody without doing stuff. So that's it, the video, guys. Hope you like it. Just give some likes and I will be posting more videos. Have a nice day.